All right, guys, here we go with topic 2.7, colonial society and culture. We're going to wrap this one up and then we're going to take it to the house for unit 2. So, looking at learning objective 1. Here's what we're looking at. You need to be tying everything back to the development of an American culture over time. So, we're kind of looking at change over time, but we're more importantly looking at how it developed. So, as we do that, we're going to look at this in a change over time way. So kind of setting the stage for all of this is A, and it's really going to be dealing with the First Great Awakening. So you should have information on it. You have a couple of names to associate with it with Jonathan Edwards and George Whitefield. You need to be able to explain how they contributed to the First Great Awakening. And I would also know Jonathan Edwards' main work that he's known for, which is Sinners in the Hand of an Angry God. So we've set the stage. Then we move to the next step. The next step is B. What ends up happening is the colonies begin to, as it says, experience a gradual Anglicization over time. You need to know what that means. In other words, it means the colonies over time start becoming more British. And as that happens, kind of fast forwarding to where we're going to go, they start to see themselves as British. And not that they're not British anyway, but they see themselves as British subjects rather than colonial subjects. And you'll see that kind of start to come into play as we move toward the American Revolution. So I can't remember whether you've got anything in this box, but if you look that up or if you watch the review videos, you'll see some examples of how they Anglicicize. I can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. I've been doing a lot of these today over time. So once that occurs, as we go, so you set the stage, kind of the Great Awakening and everything else. They begin to come together, identify themselves more as British. Then you start to see a split occur between England and the colonies because of their different goals and interests, as you see in the learning objective. And partly because of the way they begin to view themselves. So, for A, the goals and interests of European leaders at times diverged or became different, leading to a growing mistrust. Some of the things that they're having problems with as colonists are territorial settlements, frontier defense, self-rule, and trade. Got a couple of examples here: Bacon's Rebellion and the Dominion of New England. You need to be able to tie them into one of those categories on the left side, and then kind of explain why there's, tension between them. How Bacon's Rebellion is evidence of the growing tensions between Britain and the colonies. How the Dominion of New England does the same. Also, we move to B with the colonists' resistance to imperial control. The reasons for this, the big reason is that they're used to running things themselves. We've already talked about the House of Burgesses, New England town hall meetings, like they've kind of been left alone to do what they do. So those two things are evidence of once England begins to try to assert their control over the colonies. Now remember, this is pre-revolution, pre-road to revolution. These are the baby steps of it. Why there is initial resistance to that, and it's because they hadn't had to deal with it before. Also, it's not a bad idea to bring in the Enlightenment as part of this argument. They're starting to be influenced by some of the political thought, John Locke and others, as we'll talk about in Unit 3. And also an ideology critical of perceived corruption in the imperial system. I don't think the Quakers tie into that. I believe, let's see, religious independence is where I would tie that in. So trace that path, set the stage, set the tone, then go. Experience becoming more British, then things start to split for these reasons. They start to resist different things for these reasons, and you should be okay. But do remember, as you're looking at these, don't take individual terms. Take the whole picture of that unit into consideration when you're studying and what you're trying to accomplish as you do that. So that wraps up Unit 2. We'll go into the road to revolution and everything else dealing with Unit 3 in the next series.